Fortress, they're called today, which you may or may not recognize. They used to be Quake Fortress in the beta. They've been Anox of recently, and today they're going to be playing as Fortress. It is, of course, Avec and Co that are in there, former Quake players.
Yeah, curious to see what they're going to do. But before we do hop into the game, which will be on Lijiang Tower, let's take a look at the brackets really quickly to see how they've kind of progressed throughout the entirety of this tournament. I actually hid the rest of the bracket because it was a 520
yeah,
bracket,
or
or 518. Or 512, actually, I think it was. So, Overwatch Kings vs. Fortress is the match we're going to be bringing you. There's Extra Gaming up against a BX3. Sterling up against Kappa Cabana. That's a great name. Some other ones to look out for. Ventus versus maybe the winner of Mango Bay and Call Me Maybe. And Pret still waiting for their victor down there on top of things. Ideally, the match we'll be going to after this one will be this match, assuming Ventus and Pretz both win. So that will be our first best-of-3 match to kick off the day.
Absolutely. The players are ready to go. So I'm not going to hold them up any longer. We're going to get in there. As you said, this is, we said it just off the break there, actually, a very good chance for the Fortress guys. I've noticed over the last couple of weeks when they were playing, certainly last week throughout the Go For Cup, they've been playing a lot of control point maps, which actually suits them, because you think of the old Quake Fortress days, Quake Arena, you know, jumping around, holding the point. This is their bread and butter. So I'm surprised that teams actually allow them to go to this, like rather than let them on a payload map.
I don't. You have to be. I mean, you have to be think about it this way: the way they do vetoes. If Fortress vetoes out payload maps, then it's going to be Overwatch Kings to have to veto out the control point or capture point maps, and then it leaves cough maps in the end.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
Potentially you're always going to get one. I think it comes down to the higher seed. So Overwatch Kings actually chose the map out of what they were given. So hopefully for them, they're going to be feeling confident. But we are ready. We'll drop you straight in. We'll see how this game's going to go.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, obviously OW Kings, for those that don't know, the Finnish team, they are former enemy territory players from years gone by. So payload suits them perfectly because it's a very similar. It's obviously they were stopwatch way back in enemy territory, but it's a similar type of game style. Whereas we are going in towards Lijiang Tower though. So we'll see how this one lays out. 15 seconds to go. Quickly blast through the roster for you. It is going to be Senny on McCree. There's going to be double Winston, double McCree action in this one. Rib's going to be on Winston. Ulba's going to be on McCree. Tweedy is going to be on a Winston. There is going to be a Zaya for Adatonian. And Misha will be on the Lucio. On the opposite side, we have a Genji for Shadowburn. Forsaken will be on McCree. Moth will be on McCree. There will be a Winston in there for Zob. A Lucio for Avec, which is Mufu. And TCM Bite. Wow, Bite? Really?
Yep. Yeah, he's been on the roster for a while.
Player.
Yeah, he's been on the roster for a long time.
So I've commentated with this guy.
With this guy?
I didn't even notice he was in there.
Well, hopefully for him, his playing's better than his casting, because they're going to need him to maybe step up in this one, playing on the Zarya. But I think Overwatch Kings kind of outpicked what Fortress had in the get-go. I mean, again, Shadowburn, what the hell is he going to do against double Winston and double McCree? There's just like no chance you can actually survive that unless somehow you can reflect something in that one. But I mean, Moth already has ultimate available. He's got his Deadeye up and running if he wants to use it. They've been able to successfully pull off this first attack. Maybe some miscommunication in the Overwatch Kings side, but here's the fight breaking out again. Here
we go. Going to try and capture that point. You can see Bite just sticking off the side there. Using the angles. They've got to be careful, of course, when that Primal Rage gets ready. Keep your eye on those percentages. I can see Tweedy has his available right now. He can, of course, knock them off. That's what he's going to be aiming to do. And Zaya just about angled himself in there. Oh, he's keeping on there just about, but he's been taken down anyway. The amount of damage that comes out when that is pumping. So, they managed to recapture the point.
Pretty much off the back of Twitty too, just knocking them away, not allowing Bite to actually get in there and do too much. But I want to see what Shadowburn's going to do. Can we go to him for a little bit? Because he's the man to, I think, watch in this one. He's playing a hero that has a very hard time dealing with 4 or 5 of the enemy team with the makeup they have. He's going to be popping his Dragon Blade. He's going to come in towards the back, so it should be an easy kill on Cieni. So he's going to fall from this one, and he's just getting a lot of free damage, and somehow he even escapes with his life. Gets a health pack, and is back in ready to go for another.
Gets out there in time. Also stopped, all importantly, the Deadeye coming out from the McCree. So Forsaken wasn't able to get that. He does have it still available, but there is double Primal Rage set up now and that Graviton Surge for Adatonian. So this is a real good chance of a defensive hold here. We'll see whether it works out for them, though. Fortress are going to be coming back in with double Deadeye as well as a Primal Rage of their own.
I don't actually know if Sienni's ringing for them or is a new addition to their team, because he used to play for Bongo Beach Boys back at the TakeOver tournament, and he's a sniper. But anyways, the Graviton Surge is going to be coming through. Ryby actually going to knock away the enemy McCree. Moth going to get pushed completely out of this position to do even anything, but it doesn't matter. Fortress, I think they're going to take the point here.
They are going to get in there. They still have that High Noon available for Forsaken. Didn't really need it. Won't really find an equal opportunity to use it. Tweedy does still have that Primal Rage available when he comes back in, so I guess that's what we're going to use to try and battle them back out. But now we have a triple McCree coming out. All right, why not?
I mean, if 2 McCrees are good, 3's got to be better, right?
No, he switched. Okay, he's got Soldier. They needed an adjustment away from the Winston. That's what they're doing. They thought the double Winston wasn't working for them.
I mean, the Soldier healing is going to be really good out of Ryby and Muture if they can pair things together. Sienna going to just run straight in with the flashbangs. Eventually get the kill on Forsaken, not allowing the High Noon to actually go off, but it doesn't matter because Moth is going to be there to help out, and this is just them clean up. I think even Additonian got knocked off the map, and that's a full wipe here. Overwatch Kings, they got to be careful because they just got passed up in points by Fortress.
Fortress holding strong there. Now the fact that we can see Shadowburn with his ulti available. You guys know it all. It is Death Blossom, but you guys know it as Die, 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 because that's what's commonly known as Die, Die, Die. Everybody runs for cover. Pretty much. But here we go. We're going to get the Monkeys coming in, and that's not really going to be a very successful ult.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many shields for him to really do too much, and Rybe's able to get the kill to Zoob, allowing the Monkeys to not do too much. It's a double kill, I think, coming in for Moth. Is going to be chased away by Rybe, who's eventually going to get the kill onto him. And I think Overwatch Kings actually have been able to take this back because they're in overtime. They have to pull this one back. They cannot allow Fortress to actually get any sort of hold back.
So Rybe with yet another adjustment then, switch into that Reaper of his own there, and actually almost built his ulti from that. So he's been through Winston, thought about McCree, then went into Soldier, and now has finally decided to sit on the Reaper. Now, obviously, this works very well against those big, fat, juicy targets. Has to be up close and personal. And that's what it's going to be. Well, let's see how this attack works out for them.
Ooh, Monkey jumping in first is very dangerous, too. Zoob, he's the only one that actually can tank the damage at the moment. And there's the Graviton Surge coming through. Only connects to about 2 or 3 people. But it seems to actually backfire against them because the rest of the team has been here to fire away. And again, you cannot afford to lose these points. We need to see maybe some Tracers coming in because the point will be taken relatively soon out of Fortress.
Well, Bite has his ulti available, but doesn't really need it. That's going to be the first map, I believe.
This is going to be a long overtime.
Are we going to see anyone throwing themselves in there? Yes.
It's going to be a long overtime, most likely, because the Tracers are coming out of Muture and Additonian. It comes down to who can pick up these kills. Bite, though, is going to have a field day. With these Tracers, the most of the damage he's going to absorb is going to be insane. He's going to have full energy for almost the majority of this fight.
Well, Additonian's going to have to try and throw himself in there, try and get something going, but he's been taken down. Twitty's a long way off. Alba's a long way off, and that is going to be the first round going to Fortress. So the OW Kings, and this is what we talked about, going essentially to Fortress's home territory of the control points, the King of the Hill style maps, and they lose the first round. This is a challenge. OW Kings have been in the final the last 2 cups running. Will they get knocked out here?
They could be. They definitely could. Additonian and Muture going to be sticking up the double Lucio to speed their team up to get into there. Shadowburn, he plays a lot of like out of the meta picks. I mean, the Genji, which I mean is fine, but what he was up against was very dangerous. Now going over to the Reaper, which he's assuming there's going to be a double Winston yet again for him to pick with, but he's not going to have the opportunity to. So he's got to be very careful, and he might ideally need to switch unless they're going to leave him on point to just protect it.
Yeah, the double Lucio could work out well for them here. Let's keep our eyes on it. It's a lot of healing ability, and of course you can knock them off the bridge. That's the main part of the Lucio here. Try and knock them off the map at any situation. But at the moment, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Mufu is also, obviously, Avec on the other side. He's trying to do similar. But as it is, this is looking pretty decent for OW Kings on the initial attack.
Yeah.
Managed
They
to
haven't lost really too many people, and with Moth already going down and them still skirmishing on the actual point with the Zarya, with the Winston, it's really hard as an opposing Winston to do too much against that.
Absolutely. Zoob getting taken out. Rybe looks like they're going to hold this one, although it's a 3-on-3 at the moment. On point, can they force them away? Still being contested, but Shadowburn doing some decent damage there. Does finally get taken out just at the moment. That is going to be Sini, the last man standing, though. Has got his ultimate available. Don't think he's going to use the Deadeye, and Fortress will capture the first point.
Okay, so they're going to start taking up on percent. Shadowburn, he's got a Death Blossom available here, but Sienna, I'm really curious to see why he hasn't gone to a Widowmaker or anything where she can really excel on this map, especially picking this corner. But the rest of the team's going to be jumping straight to Shadowburn in the backside. He's going to get flashbanged up, but not before he gets 1 kill and helps get an assist onto a second.
Forsaken is going to get flash on towards that Primal Rage. Make sure he checked himself in the corner as well, making sure he couldn't get knocked down the map, but you also pointed backing yourself into a corner against a very angry Gorilla. Switch across to Olba. No, he's miles away from the site as well. Ribe is in the action, but it's not working out for him. Zoob is the man I want to see because he is on fire. I'd tell a lie, he's just gone off fire. But he has got his ultimate available. Damn you, game mechanic.
But Mufu actually got a nice knockback on Additonian, which got him a free kill onto him as he fell into the pit, and Zoob was just able to be hammering away. Again, we're not seeing really too much to do with Zoob, who's going to be sitting mostly on the site, and Shadowburn's looking for any potential flank kills. But keep in mind, if Fortress win this point, the game's over. They're going to advance through, and Overwatch Kings are going to get knocked out relatively early on in the tournament.
Yeah, Moth's going to have his ultimate available when this fight kicks off. It's at 87% already. You can see we'll have that trajectory advisor. Maybe he's going to fire some trajectiles. He has got Hex Rockets, and there we go. That's exactly what he was looking for, but he doesn't get a great deal of damage to it. McCree did very well hiding around that post, but he's managed to get the damage down. Tweedy will get picked off. A couple of headshots on the Winston there. Finishes the job, and now at 47%, ticking strongly. 5 players on fire. They are wrecking OW Kings right now.
I think OW Kings, they do have an ace in their sleeve with Ribe on Zarya having ultimate up. With the way that Fortress are holding, they're sitting pretty much everyone on top of the point. If he gets a good Graviton Surge off, that's going to be a full wipe, and they're going to take the point. He's looking for the Graviton Surge. He's going to pull off. He gets 4 members through. They're going to be able to hammer away at this one, but the backup, where's the damage coming through? Eventually, it will finally be there. They'll pick up 3 quick kills and eventually clean them up.
That worked out very, very nicely. Just got to deal with the Primal Rage Monkey. Shadowburn will get picked off on the Reaper, and McCree trying to sneak around the side, but now it is just the single monkey left on site. As soon as Zoob gets taken down, that will be the site going across to OW Kings, and by God do they need it. 81% for Fortress so far, 32% and counting for the OW Kings.
That was actually really well played, I think, Overwatch Kings, knowing that they had that ultimate available and they could easily make that work for them. But now it comes to Fortress. Shadowburn has ultimate. Mufu has ultimate to actually push back in. Shadowburn is just waiting for his time. Will eventually pull it off, and there's no shield to actually block him, but there will be a flashbang. He's forced to Wraith form out of this one, but Fortress have actually gotten control of the point. They forced Overwatch Kings out of this position and gives them control of the point in just a few seconds.
Well, Moth is pretty much the last man standing. They've got Zoob and Mufu in and around the site as well, but they're trying to force this Zarya away. That shield's going to drop down. He hasn't got a great deal to offer. That's going to be a long cooldown, and ends up getting taken down by the big monkey. So they have it back, 83% and counting. Ribe down, but with that Graviton Surge back available, along with Olba's Deadeye, this is going to have to be such a crucial ultimate to pull off. And he's coming in the right point. He's coming in behind them, so it will be the surprise factor.
The double Deadeye, actually, if they can keep Sienna alive here, he's waiting for the Graviton Surge. He's going to pull it off towards the right side. It's only going to catch on to 2, so that's how they desire targets, but he focused Lucio down first, which is extremely smart, takes the healing away from him, and a potential sound barrier coming through, and he will keep the rest of his team up yet again here. Overwatch Kings will take the point in the nick of time.
Just about. And actually, it's working out well because Fortress don't have any ultis available right now. They have the single one for Bite, but
which can be a big one.
It
with
can
two
be.
McCrees and a soldier.
We'll see.
It's just if he can place it in the right position, and you're seeing Overwatch Kings, they're spreading out a lot more around the point. They're not sitting on top of it to allow a Graviton Surge to destroy them.
Yeah, nicely done. Sound barrier also dropping that beat around the side. There's the Graviton Surge, but there's no damage coming on it. You can see it will finally take them down. Overwatch Kings looking like they're in trouble. They've got to hang on to this site. I don't think they've quite got enough. Zarya around the side. He's getting picked on. Everybody is on top of him. He's just trying to survive, but it's not going to happen. Fortress will take the map, and now they're going to have to spam. They're going to have to spam everything. They're going to have to throw literally the kitchen sink, but look at it. They have double Deadeye. There's the 2 Deadeyes being notched. They're being used as zoning potential. They're going to be trying to pick off those tracers, and this looks like OW Kings are in desperation mode.
The Tactical Visor as well is able to just hold them off and do so much work, but the Tracer's still up. That's going to be, I think it was Meecher or Twitty who went down from the swamp. They're still in overtime because Lucio is just dancing on. Ryby is just trying to be a nuisance, trying to just buy some extra time, but the overtime is taking down.
The Tracer's back.
The thing is, if they can keep sparing the Tracers and they're actually allowed to keep doing this, they'll have post bombs available, which can turn the tide of the fight. They just need to make sure that they still have these up. And Sandy almost has available. If he can get in there and land a perfect pulse bomb, they can actually turn this fight around.
5 Tracers and a Lucio, just trying to do everything. There's the pulse bomb, gets thrown out. He's going to catch them. It gets himself a double kill. Can he spin around? He needs support though. He's managed to do the damage. The rest of his team are going to try and get in there. Olba comes around the side. Zoob gets picked off. He's got pulse bomb available now. He throws that out. Is it going to be enough? No, he doesn't manage to catch him. Drop, the beat goes down, but this is working, Jason.
Yeah, if the Tracers can stay alive for multiple different attacks, they'll have pulse bombs available, which you did see Twitty do to turn the fight, or sorry, Sienna fight to turn it completely around. They're going to hold the point. I think they should ideally be able to capture it because, again, they're going to have more pulse bombs up.
Got it.
Now the question comes down to, will they switch up their compositions?
Can they hold it now? They only have to hold it until the overtime runs down. They have to start running in themselves. Forsaken's a long way up. They've got it. Oh, they just got it in time. So close by Forsaken there.
Now it's Tracer v Tracers here. Forsaken. He's got only 21% his ultimate. Adatonian's going to have his available, so we'll twin in a few seconds here. And Ciani, not to mention, they're just completely hammer away through the pulse bombs again, zoning so much potential positioning out of the zone area, and they're going to actually take the map back.
Oh, 5 Tracers and a Lucio, ladies and gentlemen, and some expert Tracer skills with those bombs. And wow, that was from the jaws of defeat right
That's
there.
what can happen when you don't. If you let the Tracers respawn back in and re-attack, that's what's going to happen to you every time. They're going to. That's why Tracer spam at the end is so powerful.
People asking about the no one hero rule. This is something actually you guys did at ESL back in the beta a long time ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm personally not a fan of it. I actually like that. I like the fact that you can do that.
It'll be nice when there's like 40 heroes in the game.
Yes.
But right now it's not.
It's not worth it with 21 heroes. Yeah. It's absolutely not worth it. But here we go. Shadowburn on the attack as the Reaper trying to sneak around the back of them. And this is all now. The chips are up for grab. Tweedy getting picked off already by that Reaper. It does a hell of a lot of damage against the Winston.
Oh, Oba even going to fall too. Shadowburn's actually just building up a lot of ult percent. Not really caring too much about anyone around him because he's not being focused down. He's been sitting at 204 HP for the longest bit of time as he's going to even pick up a couple of souls here or there. And Fortress will ideally get the first control because the Ciani and the Olba double Tracer combo isn't really going to do too well against this Reaper when you have to fight him up close and personal.
Yeah, he's doing well. The fact that he hasn't even, like you say, hasn't been focused. Nobody's really touching him. He's been standing around 85 damage for 85 health for a long time. Finally gets the heal up from the Lucio, but now has his ultimate available. They have the point, 12% and counting. And Fortress, well, they're going to be, I think they're going to be a little angry.
Trying to get under skirt shot there.
I wasn't doing it. Reaper just went up there, man, but he's set for the die. Here we go. Death Blossom does nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't do too much. Fortunately for him, he's eventually going to fall too. Adatonian, playing on Reaper himself, is actually going to have his ultimate up and running. And they're contesting the point still, but obviously you have to keep in mind, Fortress is still building up percent while it's being contested. Even Moth being knocked back is just trying to harass them away. And the Tracers, I'm still surprised he's Ciani and Olba sticking to this one. I guess it's going to take a little bit of time to get them going, but it seems like Fortress have been able to deal with them relatively well.
Yeah, it's working very well for him. The Tracer, High Noon getting popped. Not going to be able to use that one. Taken straight out as soon as he tries to get in there. So, they have control. 48% was built up by Fortress. Now, look for Ribe. Got a long way to go. It takes such a long time to build that Graviton Surge up.
Yep. Yeah, it really does.
Xayah, but as we saw in the last map, it can be such a crucial ult.
Yeah, it can be a game changer, 100%. And that's what it did for them twice on the second point of Lijiang Tower. So they're finally getting the control. They got to build up towards at 100%. They're only at about 25, but they have a lot of crucial ultimates online with enemy team. Has only one. Bite is still lacking on his Graviton Surge, only at 83% now, and Adatone's in the perfect position to completely catch him off if he jumps on top.
Just waiting for that shield to drop down. Here we go! Gets himself the ulti off. He gets just the one down, but there was a fair bit of damage to follow up on it. But there is neutron bombs available as well. Senny is picking them apart right now. Primal Rage Monkeys, they are big fat targets for a very, very mobile Tracer.
They're just big bone, Demon. They're just big bone,
They're
right?
just big bone. They are certainly very big bone, but this is working well. OW Kings up against it, and the momentum and the confidence that would have come from that sneaking the victory out of nothing must be really high spirits right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, had to be a little bit down themselves, but also I guess high, knowing that they almost picked up the map already against Overwatch Kings. The team probably favored to win the whole tournament. There's the Graviton Surge paired with the pulse bombs, and there's an entire team being wiped out here. This is gonna be a complete stomp. Overwatch Kings will hold the point yet again, but now Fortress, it's a smart play of them. Because what they did was, they ran in there, they forced the ultimates out of Overwatch Kings. They forced out Pulse Bombs, they forced out the Graviton Surge, they forced out the Primal Rage, and now they're going to go on the attack yet again with ultimates in their favor.
Here we go. Bite's got that Graviton Surge available, but as you said, they're not sticking together. There's a couple of them there. Did he just throw it out? He did, but there's not really a great deal of damage following up. He's been picked off as well. Switch across to Forsaken. He's trying to run in there with Deadeye available. They are starting to cap the point out, but you can see the Reaper being chased down. Adatonian, is he going to be able to get in there? High Noon will pick himself one. That's going to be Adatonian on Reaper being taken down. A quick flashbang. Fan of the Hammer takes down the Tracers. And that is really how you counter the Tracers, really. fan of the hammer. Not working out so well for Forsaken so far, but they have the point at the moment. There we go. So now, at 99%, they get locked out. And now, is it going to be Fortress's turn to try and sneak the victory?
Well, you got 50% on Ryby with his Graviton Surge, which is going to be really impactful with the Pulse Bombs if they do pair them together. The Tracer's going to go ahead and use them now, because why not? You're going to have them up relatively quickly. But Shadowburn and Moth both have Deadeye available. They have 3 McCrees. This is going to be so hard and so crucial when it comes to zoning.
It's working out well, but the Neutron Bomb was dropped. That's going to take him out. They're going to be taking the point here, or are they? Adatonian's the last man on there. Now he's going to try to keep them at bay. He wasn't able to catch it out. He's going to get taken down. A Winston to the face can be quite crucial for a soldier.
Well, yeah, for anyone, it can be very crucial. But Ryby, he died too early in that fight. He wasn't allowed to build up ult %, and now this is going to make their last attack really dangerous. He needs to stay alive and somehow hope that he can put his ult down in the middle of the fight and have it be impactful.
That's going to be High Noon. I think it's Moth that just popped it out, but he got a Winston straight to the face. That spin across the Forsaken, because he's going to have his available in a moment, but he's being picked off by Olba. Olba managing to do the damage here on the Tracers. Tracers all across the board. Neutron Bombs getting dropped left and right. He is going to try and work his way through, but can they keep them off site? They're going to cap the points out. Now, have they got anything? You can see immediately they're switching to the Tracers. They're trying to get it on point. They won't get it. OW Kings will take the victory, and really a superb steal that just happened from round 2 of the game. Fantastic stuff.
Honestly, I thought Fortress was going to win that one.
Yeah, I thought they had it in the bag.
Point, I was like, this is it.
But I'm not sure I agree with the triple McCree. Not sure I agree with that switch. I just thought he was doing good work with Reaper, but obviously he felt like he was getting picked apart easily by Tracers.
Well, both teams are running one support, which is like the really interesting thing for me. I feel like they can feel confident in that and not have to actually switch up to a second, like just sit on double Lucy the whole time. There were more so going on 2 tanks, 1 healer, and 3 DPS. There we go. 3 DPS to make it work.
It's hard work trying to do maths on air, trust me.
Especially on camera. That's even
absolutely. It's like the spotlight's on you.
Yep.
So, what is next? We're moving into best of 3 territory now, into the round of 8, the quarterfinals. We believe, are we going to stick up the top here, or are we going to spin it down?
We should be going to, assuming Ventus and Pretz both win, we'll be going to that semifinal.
Or sorry, that quarterfinal. Mango Bay have done all right over the past couple of cups. You never know.
So, well, I'm looking at the bracket. I might as well show you guys at home too. Ideally, we're going to be going to this one, where it's going to be Pretz High Noon versus Ventus Mango Bay, because we feel like that's probably the closest quarterfinal out of all of them. And then into the semifinal, we're not really sure where we want to go just yet.
So we'll find out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, hopefully the teams will be ready and waiting to go, as will be Jason. I'm just going to hold my words.
I'm ready.
As we're good to go. We're back after the break, ladies and gentlemen, with the quarterfinals.